This is my speech on animal testing for my persuasive speech. More than 100 million animals suffer and die in the U.S. every year in cruel chemical, drug, food, and cosmetic tests, as well as in medical researches and exercises curiosity-driven medical experiments at universities. How would you feel if you were an animal and were tested on every day until the day you died? There was no way of escaping this experiment. You take in so much pain and have wounds all over your body. There are many animals every day that are treated cruelly because of our benefit. My goal is to persuade my audience to stop animals from being tested on. One of those animals more than likely helped test your cosmetic products. Most of the animals that are being tested on, they commonly develop neurotic types of behavior. Today, I'd like to talk to you first about the effect of testing on animals. Second, how companies can replace this animal testing with a cheaper alternative. And finally, how you can support this cause. I'll begin by informing you the effects on animal testing. Animals just want to be able to live freely and not have to suffer for our advantage. The problem is that most of the animals being tested on aren't protected under the Animal Welfare Act. These animals, such as rats and mice, are typically mistreated a greater extent because of the government. Some tests include skin and eye irritation tests where chemicals are rubbed onto the shaved skin or dripped into the eyes of rabbits. Replace oral force-feeding studies lasting weeks or months to look for signs of general illness or specific health hazards. In which animals are forced to swallow massive amounts of a test chemical to determine the dose that causes death. The companies don't care about the pain the animals have to go through, and what makes it worse is there's no pain relief provided. And most of these tests have side effects such as blinding, swollen eyes, sore bleeding skin, internal bleeding, organ damage, birth defects, convulsions, and sometimes death. Animals also die from biology experiments through dissection in our schools. Just because it was safely tested on animals, this does not mean it is 100% safe on humans. Animal gene expression, anatomy, metabolism, immune system, etc., they're all different. Even though chimpanzees are the closest to humans, it still isn't guaranteed to function the same way as humans do. A 2008 study in the journal Alternatives to Laboratory Animals showed that more than 80 HIV or AIDS vaccines successful in non-human primates failed in human trials. Drugs intended to reduce inflammation in critically ill patients previously tested in mice failed in nearly 150 human clinical trials, according to a 2013 study in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. This just proves the animals are not useful in accuracy on humans. I'm sure after hearing all about the negative side effects of animal testing has on them, you're wondering if there is any other way we can still benefit in our advancements without harming innocent animals. Well, there definitely is. And it's called the in vitro testing. This is very important to us because it helps with not having to test on animals, and we have Harvard Weiss Institute to thank for discovering this remarkable method. Not only is this a more accurate technique, but also efficient. The organs on chips have human cells in the system which act as the function of human organs. These chips can potentially eliminate animal testing forever. The chips can be used instead of animals in disease research, drug testing, and toxicity testing, and have been shown to replace human physiology, diseases, and drug responses and more accurately than crude animal experiments do. Some companies, such as the Hero Corporation, have already turned these chips into products that other researchers can use in place of animals. As you can see now, there are most certainly ways to prevent inhumane treatment of animals. Now I will explain how you can contribute in society for this cause. There is a campaign called the Be Cruelty Free. You can help by getting word out about this organization so more people are aware of this. They try their best to limit products in the U.S. and from other countries from products that are tested on animals. And you can also shop for cruelty-free products in your daily use of commodities. And some makeup brands that are cruelty-free include Elf, Urban Decay, Tarte, Wet n Wild, Smashbox, Physicians Formula, and etc. Some hair care brands that are cruelty-free include Aveda, Oribe, Drybar, and Pacifica, Jack Black, and more. As you can easily see, animals deserve to live a healthy lifestyle. I've told you about the need for switching to in vitro testing from animal testing for many reasons. It is cheaper, efficient, accurate, and doesn't treat animals poorly. What if your house pet that you have loved is suddenly taken in for testing out a new cosmetic product? Imagine the pain and suffering they would have to go through just so we can benefit from these experiments. Think of how much better you would feel if companies just used the in vitro method to save animals from being abused. I'm going to leave you with a quote from George Bernard Shaw. Atrocities are not less atrocities when they occur in laboratories and are called medical research. Thank you for your time.